Hey, do you procrastinate? I know I do from time to time. We all have what it takes to put it off. But actually, do we have what it takes to accomplish what we've started? That's the key word, starting. Sometimes beating procrastination is just about covering and overcoming the initial hurdle. Instead of forcing yourself to tackle the entire task at once, focus on one thing. Just one thing. Start. Starting. Just start. That's right. Starting is the hardest part of anything. Going to the gym, writing a book, finishing that project. Starting. It's what most of the time stops us from finishing. We find so many excuses not to start, don't we? My goodness. Chances are that at this very moment you're procrastinating on something. Why do we procrastinate? Even though we know it's against our best interest to not start and complete such and such. How can we overcome this? Preferably without hating ourselves or the techniques that we use in the process to help us overcome this disease called procrastination. Why do we procrastinate? Well, first, let's all know that procrastination is a human condition. Every single person does it. About 95% of the people admit to putting off work, according to Piers Steel, an author of a book called The Procrastination Equation. I would argue that the other 5%, they're just lying. They're just lying. As for the phenomenon of putting stuff off, it's purely an emotional reaction to something we don't want to do. We just don't want to do it, so we put it off. Feels too hard, put it off. The more averse you find a task, the more likely you are going to procrastinate. So, let me share with you 7 triggers that make a task seem adverse, seem not really something I want to deal with. Bring to mind something right now that you've been putting off. You'll probably find that task has many, if not all, of these 7 characteristics that make a specific task or project procrastination worthy. Here we go. So, it's boring. Number 1. Number 2, it's frustrating. Number 3, it's difficult or seems difficult. Number 4, it's ambiguous. Number 5, it's unstructured. We gotta have structure. Number 6, it's not intrinsically rewarding for us, and we don't find the process fun. And number 7, it lacks in any personal meaning for us. On a neurological level, procrastination is not the slightest bit logical. It's the result of an emotional part of your brain, your limbic system, strong-arming the reasonable, rational part of your brain that is the prefrontal cortex part of your brain. The logical part of your brain surrenders the moment you choose to click on Facebook over work, or the moment you decide to go home and binge on another episode of House of Cards when you get home instead of cutting the grass or cleaning the garage. But there's a way you can give that logical side of your brain the upper hand. When you notice an approaching showdown between the logical side of your brain and the emotional side of your brain, hey, next week I'll tell you the answer to that. Tune in next week and I'll share with you how to handle that. In the meantime, have a great week. Make good choices out there. Bye-bye.